Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Eric Turner, and in today's Cover One Film Room feature, we're going to take a look at wide receiver Mack Hollins, who just agreed to terms with the Buffalo Bills. The receiver is a big body receiver. He's 6'4", 221 pounds. He's 30 years old, so he's up near the end of his career, but he played in 13 games last year with the Atlanta Falcons, only starting 3 games, but the year prior in Las Vegas, he started 16. And he actually had a pretty good breakout season. Last season in Atlanta, he had 28 targets, 18 receptions for 251 yards, 0 touchdowns. He averaged 1.56 yards per route run, and he had 0 drops. So he's got really reliable hands. We're going to talk about that later in the film breakdown. In Vegas the year before, again, that breakout season, he had 87 targets for 57 receptions, 690 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And he did pitch in 4 drops. But either way, over the last couple of years, he's actually been pretty productive. I expect Hollins to fill several roles. He's going to be kind of the Gabe Davis, intermediate to deep shot type player. He's going to pitch in the run game. He's a very good run blocker, as you'll see in some of this film. But then he's also going to have some of those roles and usage that Sherfield had last year. He's going to play a lot of special teams. When he played full-time special teams, he was actually pretty good a few years ago. So that is an area that will help him get on the field even more. So without further ado, let's jump into the film. All right, first couple plays we're going to take a look at are his ability to kind of drop his hips right here. You get to see some of that athleticism at the top of the screen, how he's able to get to depth and then break down right at the top. You can see him drop his hips really well and come out of that break nice and clean. Good catch along the sideline. These type of routes are always open for the Bills offense, and Josh can hit him from the far hash, the near hash, 25, 30, 40 yards down the field. So just a few plays to look at how he moves, his body movement. This is from 2 years ago with the Raiders, but you can see how he breaks down and then hinges towards the boundary and then makes a nice catch with his hands along the sideline. Obviously, with his size and strength, physicality stands out. Here he is, tight alignment. Watch him throw that DB off him and then work his eyes to the quarterback, and then with this defender sitting underneath, he slides to the boundary and makes that catch. You're going to see him create some separation with that physicality, and being 6'4", he better be able to do that. But another play here that we're going to show later on as well that shows his physicality, but also his friendliness to his quarterback. Bottom of the screen, stop route, watch him snap that off. Executes the throw by on the DB, separation, easy pitch and catch. Again, a route that is always open for the Bills. And while he may not be the fastest receiver, he'll create separation with his physicality. And right there, you see that at the top of that route, throwing that guy by. It's a very good technique. It's a common technique used by wide receivers, especially on these stop routes. Next play, you're going to see him work from the top of the screen to the bottom, kind of using his tempo. I talked about it in the opening, his ability to tempo routes, let them develop, and then catch the ball, especially on these crossing routes. It's very good timing of this play. He lets the run action unfold. He lets all these guys kind of cut to the top of the screen, and then he becomes open, catches it, and gets some yards after they catch. Just good timing on that play. And he's got that size. You're going to see him in and around the tight end area, sometimes damn near in line, because he's an asset in the run game, but he can also do a lot of these things. Like if this were an actual run, he's inserting on that forced defender. He's got the size to do it, and you see him. He'll stick his nose in there. But it's a little throwback play, and then he releases into a route, and it's just an easy touchdown. But the defense is fooled there, not only because of the run action, but also because of his usage. His usage to be a blocker in and around the box, selling it, and then just releasing. He's going to play a lot of quasi tight end type roles and alignments, and the Bills are going to be able to do things like this, like sneak him out the backside. I mentioned how QB friendly he is. Here's some more footage from his time with the Raiders. Watch how he uncovers on this route down the field. Right there. Right there. He's supposed to be breaking out to the boundary right here, but he sees that defender undercutting him, and the quarterback's eyes aren't quite to him, so he works back to the middle of the field and uncovers right there. I mean, it's seamless. That transition at the top there to uncover, because the DB had great leverage on him, That's stuff that you just either have or you don't. And he shows it routinely on film. Here's another variation of it. Tight alignment. Right there. Guy underneath. He uncovers. He finds green. It's something he does a bunch of. Watch how the underneath defender is right in his lane. Right there. There's no way the quarterback can throw this. What's he do? Pivots just a little bit towards the boundary. And boom. Now you have a catch. Watch it from the end zone angle. Sits right behind the linebacker. Quickly realizes that the defender is right there. Quarterback's already trying to throw it. QB buys time from the pocket. Hollins pivots to the boundary. Boom, you have a completion. This type of stuff is littered in his film. He's very QB friendly. Time for some run game blocking. Here he is, top of the screen. Just look how he stalks that defender, latches on, and then just drives him out of the play as the running back cuts up inside. And you're going to see him, again, in these quasi tight end roles. Just off the tackle. Why? Because they want to run crack toss. They want to get those pitches and tosses out onto the boundary. He's got the size. He's got those long arms to crack down on the edge players so that the ball can get out to the boundary. Here he is on this play, just off the tight end. And this time he's going to essentially lead back across the formation as the QB keeps it here. So you can do some different things with him. And I'm sure Cromer is going to like using this guy right off the tackle, right off the tight end. Almost like a tight end, as you can see there. Once again, cracking back on the edge player of the Texans, Jonathan Grenard, so that the ball can get outside the tackle box for a good gain. He's not afraid to dig out linebackers and safeties on push cracks or even these type of plays right there. Picking up this linebacker, and then you see the ball carrier, the quarterback, get up inside. He's willing to do all the dirty work that wide receivers and even tight ends do. Here's a play against the Colts. Another crack toss type play. Look at him ride that edge player out. Take him right out of the play so that Bijan Robinson can get along the perimeter for an explosive run. He's that type of glue player when it comes to the run game. You can use him all over the place. Here he is on the line of scrimmage against the Colts. Look at him dig out that linebacker, that secondary defender, and the running back cuts off of him. This time he's essentially a tight end, but in a wider alignment. 2-point stance. Why? They want to get the ball outside. Too easy for him. Look at him move his feet. Locks on. Moves those feet. Slides laterally. And then you're getting the running back up the field for another big play, ending in a touchdown. All right, back to the passing game. Usually when guys talk about big-bodied receivers like Hollins, the things you talk about are high-pointing catches, contested catches. Very rarely do people talk about being able to work through disruption and traffic like you see here. Hollins is running a crossing route, and the defender, Willie Gay, wants to get a piece of him and knock him off his route to disrupt the timing of this play. But look how strong Hollins is at that point, at that collision point, and how he keeps his line across the field for his quarterback. Just literally rips through right there, and he's able to catch the ball and get yards after the catch. That's the type of stuff he's going to add to the Bills' offense next season. Here he is across the middle, again on that drag route right here. Look at how that disruption from that DB who has inside leverage, how he's able to work through it, use his long arms right there to post up and get that positional leverage and then reel the ball in at the catch point. And this is not the best of throws. So watch right here. Again, it's taken away by this defender. But watch him right there. You can kind of see his left hand right here hooking that DB to get leverage. Now he's on the front side. And then the catch. Low and outside. He reels it in for the touchdown. I talked about his usage and being very much like Gabe Davis in that intermediate and deep range. And this is one of those roles he's going to play and routes he's going to run a bunch of. These posts, these digs. And so I want you to watch the variations to his route that he uses, especially at the top of the stem. Right there, you see like a Euro step, kind of like a crossover. Nice variation to that route right there on the dig route. You're going to see different ways that he runs that. Here he is, bottom of the screen. Watch him set up the two-way go right at the top of the stem right here. Is he going to break out or in? He made it look like he's going to be breaking out because he bent it up the numbers. And then he got to that moment of truth. That DB doesn't know if he's going to break out or in. So he set up that two-way go, made it look like almost he's going to run it out, and then snaps it inside, but then gets his eyes to the quarterback, and then you can see how he finds that void in between these two defenders. Very nice tempo and pacing to that route. Good nuance, really, overall. He's able to move the chains for his offense. Here's another dig route, this time against the Titans. Once again, slight variation at the top of the route, working just inside the numbers right here. Is he going to break in? Is he going to break out? You see him stab outside and then break to the middle. And that fooled the defensive back on this dig route. Once again, catches it, and he's up the field for a first down. Here's a speed cut dig route from him. Single high coverage, so he makes this a speed cut, catches the ball with his hands, and then quickly gets down on that play. So very good spatial awareness and understanding that, hey, that hit's probably coming as you're running that speed cut dig over the middle. Get down, save yourself from a big hit. In motion, top of the screen. Here's a crossing route. Another speed cut. Easy catch over the middle of the field. This is where he's going to live. Intermediate area, deep area. Josh is going to love this guy because of his size and catch radius over the middle. I really like this dig route because of that tempo again, that pacing. See him work outside the numbers, and then he's breaking to the middle of the field. He's waiting for this route to clear, but this window is tight right here, and he knows that these two defenders are going to quickly break on him as he cuts to the middle of the field. So watch him pace that route, and then the concentration and hands catch are just beautiful. Look at it from the end zone angle. Watch that underneath defender, the linebacker, Anzalone, break on it and come into his line of sight. He just catches it and slides upfield. Very good concentration on that dig route. On to one of the key points in this breakdown, his ability to track the ball, acquire the ball. Here's a takeoff route against the Titans, and just look at this tracking down the field from the end zone angle. Look at how he tracks this up over his left to right shoulder, bottom of the screen, to the boundary. That is amazing. Running full speed and adjusting his body to make that catch. That is incredible tracking down the field on this pass from Derek Carr. Bottom of screen, just an in-breaking route. Snaps that route off. Ball is out. He acquires it and then catches it with his hands. Really nice hands catch. Very good hand-eye coordination for him. It's littered in his film. It's everywhere at all three levels. Here's a crossing route. Watch the tempo as he works across the field, and those defenders look to pass him off. This guy right here, he was waiting on Hollins the entire time. Watch him. Drops. Hollins gets his eyes on him, realizes I'm probably not going to get it up over the middle. Look at him get his eyes to the quarterback. What's the quarterback doing? Quarterback's throwing. And he throws it in between the two defenders right here. And Hollins goes down and snags it. This is an incredible catch. Slow developing play. Defender is doing a good job of eyeing Hollins on that crossing route. Watch where this throw goes. Up over the top of this defender. Again, acquiring the ball. This is a great skill trait from him. And then locating it, tracking it, catching it in traffic. Just tremendous stuff from him. And you see it at all three levels. His ability to acquire the ball, track it, and catch it. Top of the screen against the Commanders. Smash concept, high-low. Quarterback wants to throw it into the honey hole. Watch Hollins get his eyes around, his body around right now. Ball's already out. It's coming on him quickly. It's got to have some velocity on it to beat both those defenders. He's able to go up and get it in between those two defenders. You see this a lot. He's coming out of the break, ball's on him. He's got to acquire it through traffic and adjust to that pass, and he does it routinely. He makes it look very easy. Let's end this breakdown with a bang. Some post-up play, some big boy catches. Here he is, red zone, posting that guy up, climbing the ladder, making that catch. Just too overwhelming for that defensive back. He gets positional leverage. He posts him up in the paint and reels it in for the touchdown. Number 2 to the bottom of the screen. Too high, safety coverage, something the Bills see a lot of. He's going to run a bender route right down the middle of the field. Watch this play from him. Right down Broadway. Throws on him. He climbs the ladder and makes the catch for the touchdown. Here it is from the end zone angle. Watch this catch. In traffic. Rises to the occasion. Makes that catch. 6 points for the Raiders. So he can do this as well. Again, a different element to the Bills offense. A different element to the receiver room. This should have been a touchdown. It's underthrown. That allows the defender to make up ground and attempt to make a play at the catch point. But nope. Hollins brings it in for the explosive down the field. Slow developing play. Watch Hollins, big boy, and moss this defender at the catch point. Goes up and gets it with his hands. And then lands on top of that defender to add insult to injury. Over the last 2 seasons, Hollins has been very productive. And we're talking about a guy that has played several different types of roles. And I think that's how fans need to think about him. He's going to have several different roles. He's not just going to be a wide receiver 2. He's more likely like a wide receiver 4, but can do some certain things that your wide receiver 2 needs to do, like run routes from the boundary, run some crossing routes. More importantly, be a tremendous run blocker, especially if we're talking the Bills personnel and them wanting to run 12 personnel more. So 1 running back and 2 tight ends. You got to have a wide receiver 2 that is going to be on the field a lot, but also can run block a bunch, can insert in the run game like Aaron Cromer likes to devise for his tight ends and wide receivers, but also on the boundary when they want to run some of those screens to Shakir. You're going to have a guy like Hollins to block for Shakir on those RPO screens and those type of wide receiver screens on the perimeter. And he's been a captain for multiple teams, so that tells you that he earns the respect of every single player in that locker room, and he does it with his hard work in the run game, his hard work at the catch point, and his ability to be a glue type player, to be that guy that does all the little things, pros pro type of plays that really make the difference in the run and the pass game. He knows how to do a little bit of everything, and I think he'll add a very good dimension to the Bills offense when you're talking from a size point of view, but also, again, doing those little things to win the team over and to ultimately win games. If you like that breakdown, please take a moment to smash that like button, subscribe to the Cover One YouTube channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about his play, what he can add to the Bills offense, and who else to break down going forward in free agency and the NFL draft. I'm Eric Turner, owner of Cover One, host of the Film Room every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Tonight we will be recording. Anthony and I will dive in a little bit deeper into his game, along with the other re-signings by the Bills and the other acquisitions by the Bills in free agency. So until our next breakdown, go Bills.